Okay, chicos. You might just need to go back and see this video later. Hopefully, little by little, you'll get back connected. I know internet is being crazy, so we'll just have to do our best. And keep going, okay? All right. Okay, so in the other video, it got cut off when I was explaining here this part. So I'm going to continue from here, okay? But again, just really quick, in case you're seeing these, is that what we have to do is first pass each one of these that is, okay? So we move the decimal 3 steps to the right. So, and it's a smaller number than 1. So the exponent is negative, and I do that with all of them, okay? Then I see that 3 times 7 is 21. 21 is also here, it's just with a decimal point. So I did the division. I can do it in my mind, but I did it there so that you can see what happened. And so since I had a decimal, I move it, put a 0, and my answer is 10. Okay, and then what happens is I divide 10 that I have left, right? That 10 divided by the 5 is 2. And then I do the exponents, which the exponents were the 9 minus the 6. Remember that whenever we divide, we subtract this 1 in the bottom. So minus 6. Or the other way is if I think I'm going to move this to the top, I'm going to change the sign. So it's negative 6. It comes positive 6. And 9 plus 6 is 15. And that's my answer. Okay? All right. If you can tell people also that we are here in another link, that would be awesome. So we can all connect and be together on this. If not, then you can see the link later also, which is another blessing of technology and how things are going right now. But we can also just do things. This is saved and for you to watch as many times as you want and as you need, so that you are understanding everything very well. All right, let's do now from the same problem set 81. Let's do 21. Just to remember how to do some of these of the substitution. Okay. Okay, so on this one, we want to solve by substitution. It tells us that we have to use substitution. So we cannot do elimination because it's telling us to do substitution. And remember that substitution is very easy. What we cannot do let me use this. Hopefully this works better. Let's see. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better? Can someone please respond if you can hear me better? Excellent. Okay, Santi, the thing is that if there's something that you miss, just make sure you go back in the video, okay? I'm going to be putting all these links on our classroom page so that you can easily see it, okay? Awesome. Okay, so let's continue with this one that says substitution. So remember that substitution, what you want is this, one of the letters to be by itself. That's what you always want with substitution, so that you can easily substitute. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass this guy here. And here is adding, so we're going to pass it to subtract. Okay, and that this equals x. Okay, so with that, I can substitute here. Okay, because I have another way of saying x. I have another way of saying x. So I'm going to substitute, I'm going to put this in here. So 2 parentheses, all of that, minus 4y equals negative 8. Do not forget that this whole thing needs to be here, okay? All I'm doing is I'm changing the x for this, but the negative 4y and the negative 8, they all need to be here, okay? So let's do it like that. 17 minus 5y. All right? And then we just do a distributive property, which would be 34 minus 10y minus 4y equals negative 8. These like terms is negative 14y. And this one that is adding is going to come here to subtract. Okay, so 34 plus 8 is going to be 42, negative 42. And then the negative 14 goes to divide. Negative 42 divided by negative 14. Okay, and that one is 3. So since I have negative over negative, my answer is going to be positive 3. Okay? All right, and then with that 3, the 3 that I already found, I can go here and I can say, okay, but I know that x equals 17 minus 5y. So I can easily find x by putting here 17 minus 5y, and the y is 3. So 17 minus 5 times 3, which is 17 minus 15, which is 2. And again, remember your final answer will be x, comma, y. Okay? X, comma, y. And that's the answer for this one of substitution. Okay, any questions? No? Great. Let's continue then with number 25. After 25, I'm going to do 29. So if there's anything that we haven't done that you still had a question, please write it down so I can see, okay? Okay, it's 25. It says, this one is easy, right? This one should be something that everyone does very easily and fast. But if you are still not sure on how to do it, then you can make some silly mistakes. So let's try to learn it today so that we don't have any more questions on these ones. Because they're very repetitive. Again, they're the same process, just different letters and different numbers. Okay? All right? All right. Let's see. What we want to do on 25 is simplify this addition and simplify this addition. Okay, so the first thing in addition of fractions is common denominator. Only in additions of fractions I need common denominator. Right now we have a denominator 1, so I'm going to multiply that times y because that's what I want as my common denominator. And if I do it on the bottom, I also have to do it on the top. Okay? And I'm going to do exactly the same here. I have a 1, I want a y, so times y times y. Okay? So let's rewrite these to see what we have. I'm going to do the top on black. So what is the denominator we have? The denominator we have is y, not y squared. Some of you still get confused with that. It's not y squared, it's y. Just imagine this would be 1/5 minus, or 2/5 minus 1/5. We don't put 25 here. we just keep the denominator. So that's what we have to do here also. And then I put x minus y. All right? And all of that over. And then we do here the same. What's the denominator? Y. And on the top I have x plus my. Okay? All right, very good. Now we're going to do our simplification of the division. I'm going to multiply the 2 on the outside and the 2 on the inside. But again, remember that we just put it here. Y times x minus y over y times x plus my. Why did I not multiply? Because I knew this was going to happen. I knew that I was going to have a y on the top and a y on the bottom. And when that happens, I can cancel. So this is my answer. And no, I cannot cancel the x's. And no, I cannot cancel the y's because they are not multiplying. They're not factors. Okay? So we would have to be able to simplify or cancel the whole thing, and it's not possible because they're not the same thing. The only thing we can cancel is y and y because it's a factor here on the top and a factor here on the bottom. So when they're multiplying and dividing, they cancel each other. Okay? Excellent. Very good. I see that we need to do also 27. So let's do 27. Okay. And 27 is, okay, it's another one of those that we just need to make sure we learn. Let's see. It says 1 negative 3 over negative 2 minus 3 minus 3 over 2. Okay? So remember, the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the negative exponents. And how do I get rid of the negative exponents? It's like using a token. I'm going to say, okay, here, use my negative exponent. And what that does is that it moves this guy to the top. Okay? Or if it were on the top, it would move it to the bottom. So now I have negative 3 squared. Okay? Where's the negative of the exponent here of the negative 2? It's gone. We used it. We used it to pay to go to the top. And then the negative 3. And then I have negative. And what is that? What is negative 3 squared? It's negative times it's negative 3 times negative 3, which is 9. Notice how I didn't multiply negative times negative. Why not? Because PEMDAS. PEMDAS tells us first do the exponent and then multiply. So I have to keep that order. It's very important. This is going to be negative 9. And why is that? Because, again, PEMDAS says first do the exponent if you don't have a parenthesis, and then do the rest. So this is going to be negative 3, negative 9, which is all of them negative, add them, and keep the sign. 9 plus 3 is 12, negative 21. Okay, Melly, any questions? All right, excellent. Remember, use first the negative exponent. Pass it to the top. And here, do not multiply. First, do the simplification of the exponent and then multiply times the negative to get negative 9. And here, do not include the negative in the exponent because there's no parentheses. All right, very good. We're finishing 81. So let's do 29 now. '29 says, oh, that's the one of expanding. Notice that it says expand. Some of you try to simplify in weird ways, and we're not doing that. We're expanding. Again, if I'm going too fast, just listen and then take some time. Since you don't have any work for today other than this, take some time and Go back and copy everything in your notebook. Okay. Expand. What do we have to do here to expand? What we have to do is distributive property. And when I do distributive property, dos, three, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to have 3 terms. And my answer will have 3 terms. So don't do common denominator. Don't do anything else like that. It's just distributive property and simplify. That's all you have to do. Okay, so let's start. When I multiply this times this, I'm going to add the exponents that are on the top and add the exponents that are on the bottom if they are the same letter. So for the first one, I have negative 2 plus 4. I'm going to put it here so that everyone sees what we did. And then the A5 doesn't have A here, so I can't do anything. And then here I have A2, and then negative 2 plus 4 here for the Y. That's how that first step looks. Notice that I didn't change any signs. I didn't do anything other than just adding this plus this and this plus this because they have the same base and they're multiplying. Okay? All right, let's continue with the next one. The next one is this one times this one. Now here I have a negative 3 that I cannot forget because there's a 1 here. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3, okay? Then I do the x's. Negative 2, negative 4. We're adding, so we don't have to change any signs or do anything. We just put it like that. And then on the bottom, what do I have in the bottom? I have A2 minus 4 and Y negative 2 plus 2. Okay, and yes, we're going to be able to simplify here more, but right now let's just put it here so we don't make any crazy mistakes. Okay, and then the last one here is multiply times this, and again 1 times 1 is positive 1, and then x negative 2 plus 2, and on the bottom we're going to have A2 minus 2 and Y negative 2 plus 2. Okay, notice that again, I haven't tried to make anything work with each other. It's just multiply this times this, then this times this, and then this times this. Okay, that's all I have to do. Now we're going to add those numbers to simplify a little bit more. Okay, negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. A5 has also an A2 here, so I'm going to simplify even this right now so we save time and space, and I'm going to pass it here. When I pass it, I change the sign. So A5 minus 2 over negative 2 plus 4, positive 2. Okay? Then here I have a negative 2, negative 4 is negative 6. We are adding, not multiplying, so don't get confused. And then here, 2 minus 4 is negative 2. And then here, negative 2 plus 2 is 0, which makes that 1. So we don't need to write it. It's gone. It's canceled. And notice how here, this also cancels. This cancels because negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So that's a 1. That's a 1. And that's a 1. And 1 over 1 is 1, which is very important. It's very, very important. You have to leave it there. It's part of our answer. Our answer is going to have 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. So you need to make sure you leave it there. So my final answer will be x2, a3 over y2. Can you see? Yes. Minus 3, x negative 6, a negative 2 plus 1. Okay, let me see if it says that we have to do, we want all the exponents positive. Okay, so that's very easy. because if I want them positive and they're negative, all we have to do is change the place where we are. Here, they're already all positive. And here is the only place where I have negative. So what we're going to do is switch them. This one that was -6 is going to come to the bottom as +6. And this that it was -2 is going to come to the top as +2. So I'm going to just erase here because I don't have a lot of space. And we're going to say and I'm going to get A2 and X6. And that's my answer. Okay. All right. Okay, excellent. Excellent. That's it. All right, we finished lesson 81. Now we're going to do with lesson 82. I'll let you finish copying if you are copying down here while I erase on the top. Well, I'm looking forward to talking to you. Maybe we can do the Hangouts call or something because it would be fun to hear from you. I miss you guys a lot. I know it's been a challenging time, but I hope that you guys are working hard and making the most effort to stay happy, to stay active, and to stay safe at home. That's the best thing you can do, okay? And I hope that you're also being able to find your peace and your trust in God, knowing that He's in control. Okay? All right, let's continue. Lesson 82. Okay, lesson 82. It talks again, it's that kind of exercise again of the consecutive, in this case, it's consecutive odd integers. And I'm just going to do it again because I need to remind you that whenever it says odd integers, we still have to think about x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. I know these are not odd, but that doesn't have anything to do about odd or even. The point is that if this is an odd number, the next integer that is odd is 2 spaces after that. And that's why we put plus 2 plus 4. So please, even if we want odd integers, even if that's what we want, please be careful to work with this. Okay, and as I was saying, now the translation is exactly the same, just different numbers. So it says 6 times the sum. The sum of who? Well, it says the sum of the first, and the first is x, and the third is x plus 4. Okay? That is equals 3 more, remember the 3 more or the 3 less, we put it here, 5 times the opposite of the fourth. Now, whenever it says the opposite, I just think about negative. So I don't need to worry about like, yes, it's going to change the negative x, -4, but I can also just put it here as -5 x plus, oh, it's four digits, 4 numbers, so I'm missing 1, x plus 6. All right, let's check I did this correct. The first one and the third one and the fourth one. Yes. Okay, so check and see if that's what you did on your problem set. That's what you should have. Okay. There's no way we can do this by guessing or anything. The whole point is to do this algebraically. Okay, again, I add 1 plus 1 is 2x, and 2x times 6 is 12x. And then 6 times 4 is 24. Okay? And then on the other side, -5x, -30, plus 3. Okay? Okay. Then we add, then we pass like terms here, and then this one comes to the other side to subtract. So 12 plus 5 is 17x. And this is Negative 27, and negative 27 minus 24 is going to be negative 51. And negative 51 divided by positive 17 is going to be negative 3. Okay, now remember, you always have to check that what they were asking is what you got. And they're asking for odd integers. Is this an odd integer? Yes, it is. So we're correct. So my answer is going to be 4